you, I guess, didn't peep what it meant. The different paths meant that there were there were combinations and things that you could do inside of the game that now have enabled similar game plans to Freddy's entire style of play, but in a different route. So by different route, like Michael's entire thing is one shotting, right? Well, that's the build up into the one shot. Michael's vanilla base non-add-on kit builds up to a one shot. Um, and there are perk combinations that exist in the game today that could allow you to have expose going for 70% of the game. And so functionally, you could run those kits on a different character and achieve a large part of what Michael's kit was trying to do, which is set up for the exposed play. And in the same way, the the point's not that it's well now this is just a whole different point. The point isn't that it's new. I don't want to lose track here. The point isn't that it's new. The point is specifically the fact that there is an amalgamation of perks that will allow you to do that now, which matters because when there is one perk or two perk that does something and it does it or all right or okay, or even when it's one really strong perk, it stops at that one perk. The Dead by Daylight of today will allow you to synergize, let's say roughly three perks, because usually you need a fourth perk that does something different. But contextually, you can add three perks together that will allow you to achieve a character's playstyle or a similar thing to a character's playstyle and have near 100% uptime on it, which is something like Devour Hope. Okay, so you get Devour Hope and then they cleanse it. Now that's gone, right? And that's supposed to be the counterplay. Whereas there are certain exposed, like the Chucky perk that exists now, where you hook somebody and then the farthest person away is exposed for insert amount of time, and then people combine that with two other exposed perks, and then after like down and hook, you have like exposed going for like 2 straight minutes with those two perks combined, and it can't be taken away. Sure, you could say, okay, well, just don't get hooked, right, or just don't get downed, but that's a different conversation than saying cleanse the hex. Cleanse the hex gets rid of it. Cleanse the hex stops the buildup, and you also have to get there too, which is important because it gives the opponent some time to actually look at what's going on in the game and do something about it. There's a lot of time to deal with Devour Hope. If there wasn't, we'd all run it 24/7. Devour Hope was like truly an unfair, silly little perk, but there are combinations now that are truly silly and unfair and allow you to replicate other killers' entire playstyles. Sometimes, not all, obviously. There's never going to be perks. Well, I'm not going to say never. I'm going to assume there's never going to be perks that allow you to replicate the Trapper. I couldn't even fathom how that would happen, right? But those perks did not exist back in the day. Those synergies did not exist back in the day. You could build craft your ass off all day and tomorrow. You might come up with one really strong niche build, and it might have been powerful as shit, but now the class of power that we're seeing with a lot of the perks of today, you can string together 4 B tier perks and have a godly build that does one thing godly. That's not a conversation that was happening last year. The yesteryear is a better way of putting it. So, Ultimate Weapon has given every killer the access to get constant information from people when they open a lock on a very short cooldown, might I add, too, as you obviously had seen, with no resource management, which makes it put it comparatively to what the Doctor does with L1, right? Doctor pops L1, people stream in Terror Radius. Ultimate Weapon is doing something very... Fuck if I know. The big one. Doctor pops the big one, people stream in the Terror Radius, right? Ultimate Weapon said, fuck your information side of the pop-up. I just want the stream. But the stream ends up replicating exactly what Doctor's thing does. And then on top of being able to replicate what it does, obviously minus the static on the screen and the fucking up the skill check, for the sake of Doctor's informational gathering ability, Ultimate Weapon is literally meat riding Doctor's ability to do that. But also without a resource. Oh, then we have nothing to talk about. You can speak your piece, but we're just not going to see eye to eye. But speak your mind, of course. I'm gonna let you continue. I'm gonna let you continue. But I did specify just the information portion, which is a callback to the part that I was saying I hold up, which is a callback to the point that I was saying I never actually said Freddy's entirety of his being. I said you could replicate parts, which was contextually my entire argument. So if you do disagree with my entire argument, obviously do what you do, but it would be lovely if you could explain to me how you disagree with just the portion of the information part, because that's all I'm arguing for. Obviously, I'm fully aware. You're making sense, but to the point of Ultimate Weapon, I would argue the Ultimate Weapon kind of does that exact same thing, but better with some concessions. Because while there is a range limit, and while you don't get the informational HUD of the doctor, the streams are within the range of your terror radius. And the exact reason that Ultimate Weapon is so goddamn silly prior to the nerf is because if anyone streams within range of you, they're not leaving the range without getting put into a chase, and that was the problem. As soon as you walk into range of somebody, the range of your terror radius is not that far, and you get an exact pinpoint. You just can't actually travel that far in that amount of time to get out away from the killer. So every stream is a guaranteed gotcha. It's not a guaranteed one chase, but it's a guaranteed gotcha. It's a smaller range, but if you ask me of today, would I rather Doctor's Blast be a guaranteed chase starter versus information? I would understand if somebody said they would prefer it to be a guaranteed chase starter. And that's why I say concessions, because I'm important. Concessions are important here, because I'm not saying that it's going to do the exact thing, which is call back again back to the Freddy thing. I never said it was going to do the exact thing. What is going on is that the care. No, I didn't say the entire kit. That's why I read it back to you. I said I said I don't have the thing recorded again, and I'm not about to go back. But I said I'm gonna try to end. I quote: "There are perks that exist that can replicate parts of a character's kit through a different path." I didn't. Even in my readback, I didn't say totality. That's why I went to go back and look. I gave you the measure of me going backward. If I need to go, got it if you believe that, but I'm not conceding that I said that because my use of words is really important to me. Right now, could I record what I was doing without having a conversation? Hold on, hold on. Wait. Oh, that's so depressing. I'm actually gonna give you the clip because it's ironic. It records literally right before the end of that sentence to the point about the path. That's actually really funny. That's actually hilarious. So the part that we would need for the conversation to actually be able to move is literally missing from the last. And not only is it missing, here's what I'm about to do. Here's what I'm about to do. I'm going to screenshot. I'm going to take a picture of the last amount of recorded information I have. I'm going to take a picture of the size of the video itself. Hold on. Because this is actually so funny to me.